live Q&A. This is Wednesday, 12 noon Central Time. We're coming at you with a live Q&A session. Bring your questions, bring your stories, bring your successes. What the heck? Bring your failures. We're just being real today, and we're getting to the heart of real estate wholesaling. Hey, I'm Justin Chamness. Welcome to the Real Estate Wholesalers Club live Q&A. Wednesday, 12 noon. We are all about you. We are all about real estate wholesaling. We are all about making money, getting freedom, getting to that shut up money. You've heard me talk about the shut up money before. That's getting to that first check where you've got the ability to take that cash and say, hey, listen, all my doubts and fears. Listen, all my concerns and worries. Listen to all my failure and negative talk and self-doubt. Listen, I've got this cash in my hand. I got this shut up money, so shut up, right? Shut up.
If you're a quick flip real estate, this is gonna change your life.
Hey. Welcome back to the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. I'm Justin Chamness, and this is our live show Q&A. I want you to chime into the chat. I want you to ask us any questions that you have about real estate wholesaling while we are here for this short time on Wednesday. This show is all about you. It's not about me. I do have something I want to share with you, though. All right. Are you interested in what I have to share with you? I have some really, really good stuff to share with you today, and it's going to be really exciting when you see it, because I want to show you it's not a very well-known technique for getting property deals under contract. All right. This is called a flex option agreement. Have you ever heard of that? A flex option agreement. This is the most non-combative, non-aggressive, easiest way to get a property deal under contract that there is, that I know of, that I've ever heard of in 18 years of real estate wholesaling, and I'm about to show it to you right now. Hey gang, if you're looking for a little extra help, a little extra assistance, I want to let you know that at justinchamness.com we do have more advanced courses for real estate wholesaling, and that's bank-owned wholesaling, the co-wholesale joint venture. As well, we also have outsourcing your business, business management, lots of other things, and new things are being added all the time. So check us out there. Plus, we do have that one-on-one phone consultation and deal closing assistance. So we really, really do want to provide you with everything we can to help you be a complete success at this. Thanks, guys, and check it out. We'll talk to you soon. Let's get back to the show. Hey, I'm back, and I want to share with you a not very well-known technique for dealing with tough sellers and deals that you're not sure are deals. Okay. Now, normally in the real estate wholesaling game, what we're after is we're after getting a purchase and sale agreement. And I've got a purchase and sale agreement pulled up right here on the screen, and you can see that is a purchase and sale agreement. And we're all familiar with that as a real estate wholesaler. But let me show you what we used to use about 18 years ago when I got started in this business. We used to use what's called a straight option. A straight option to purchase real estate. All right. This was the method that we used back in the day to tie up property deals and to wholesale them off. And so an option to purchase agreement, it's not a purchase and sale agreement. That's a completely separate agreement that we're familiar with nowadays, a purchase and sale agreement. They had those back then too, but the method that most wholesalers, I believe back in those days, were going for was to get the option to purchase agreement. Maybe it was a fad. I don't know. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it was something that all of us were after, it seems like, at that time. And we were going for the option to purchase. That is exactly what it is. And you can see see right here the wording. It says in exchange for $10, that's our earnest money, by the way, $10, and other good and valuable consideration, optionor gives the optionee, so the homeowner would give us the non-exclusive right to purchase, okay, or it would be an exclusive right. Typically, this one happens to say non-exclusive, but it would be an exclusive right to purchase the property listed above, blah, blah, blah. So basically what it does is it allows us to tie up the property at a designated price, and then, you know, we can sell off our option, which is basically a first right of refusal. So now, that's what an option agreement is, and that's what we used to do. That's old school. Now, of course, today we use this purchase and sale agreement. And, you know, you might use a purchase and sale agreement that's completely different looking than this one, and that's okay. In every state, there are different ones and different, you know, nuances to all of them. However, I do want to share with you something that not a lot of people, I believe, in the real estate wholesale game have even heard of, and it's kind of amazing because the type of agreement that I'm going to show you is, it has been around for about 200 years, I guess, or more. All right. So this is not a newfangled idea. This is definitely something that has been around for a long time. It is 100% legal. Okay. It is 100% effective, and it is an excellent tool for you as a real estate wholesaler to have in your bag. And the name of that is the Flex Option Agreement. And here it is. I've pulled it up on the screen. This is an example of one. I am not an attorney. Okay. I am not offering this to you as anything more than an example of one. I'm not offering it as legal advice either, but this is a Flex Option Agreement that I have used. Now, it may look familiar to some of you in that if you have gone to realestatewholesalersclub.com and you have done the wholesale lease options training modules, which, by the way, are free for you. If you go to realestatewholesalersclub.com and do the free training, you can go through the wholesaling lease options training, and you will notice that in that training course, there is a Flex Option Agreement memo. It is much like this one. It is worded where it has basically the same exact words, except it adds the lease, you know, how much will the payment be every month, so on and so forth, things that are more pertinent to a lease option deal. This is just a straight Flex Option Agreement, not considering a lease. Okay, so this is all about the purchase of the house. So that over there in the Real Estate Wholesalers Club Wholesaling Lease Options training modules is a Flex Option Agreement memo for lease options. This one here, and this is the one that you will not find around very much. You will not hear very many, if any, people talking about it. This is actually used on the ugly house wholesaling side, and it is a Flex Option Agreement as well. And let's just go through it just real quickly, and you will see immediately the differences here and how this can change the game for you. This can totally change the game for you when it comes to dealing with sellers at different levels of motivation. Okay, now you'll see it starts out naming the seller, will allow buyer, Mo2 LLC, that just happens to be the name of one of my companies, to option the property at, and the address. Okay, option the property. That means that they are granting you the option to purchase this property. The purchase price to be set at blank dollars. The term of option to be, I normally would set this for as long as I can get the guy to agree to, but I usually shoot for 30 days at a minimum, sometimes 40. Okay, that gives me plenty of time to do what I need to do and for my buyers to do what they need to do. Now, we may close way faster, 10 days maybe, okay, maybe 7 even, but we're definitely going to try to give ourselves plenty of time. All right, the term of the option, this is very important, the next phrase, the term of the option to begin when this document is signed. Okay, so this doesn't go into effect, and that 30 days or 40 days doesn't go into effect until the document has been signed. Now, the next paragraph, very important, and this is what sets apart a Flex Option Agreement from a purchase and sale. Okay, you're in a purchase and sale, you are acting as a buyer. When you're doing a wholesale transaction, you're talking and acting as a buyer and filling out a purchase and sale agreement that you are hoping to then later assign to your end buyer, right? Correct? All right, well, this is where this document is different. The flex option is different in this respect. It says the buyer's intention is to find a buyer and assign this flex option agreement to that buyer for a fee. Oh my goodness. Let me read that again. The buyer's intention, your intention, is to find a buyer and assign this flex option agreement to that buyer for a fee. Now, if you're one of those people who's having a difficult time and in getting your mind shift made to where you feel okay with talking to sellers and acting as a buyer because you're a wholesaler and you're going to assign that contract off and you're not sure how to tell the seller, hey, listen, I'm a wholesaler, or even if you should, or if you need to even tell them that you're going to assign this contract to a buyer, or if you should just try to sneak that and or assigns in there. If you're having the conscience battle inside, if you're not sure and confident enough to go out and act as a buyer on behalf of your buyers, okay, then this is an excellent thing for you to pay attention to and to grasp a hold of, because this document I just read straight up tells everyone, right, what your intention is right away. It says you are planning on buying this property only and filling out this document only on the hopes of finding a buyer, right, and assigning this flex option agreement to that buyer for a fee, right? You're being very, very transparent here. Let's continue on. This flex option agreement will be converted to a purchase and sale agreement and assigned by buyer to a new buyer. It says it again. One more time it says it. So you can't even be more obvious with what you're up to than in a flex option agreement. And perhaps that is why it is not one reason why it's not as the contract of choice for a lot of wholesalers nowadays. The purchase and sale agreement is, but another reason why is because let's continue on reading. The seller may cancel this agreement at any time if they find their own buyer or decide not to sell. Uh-oh. That means the seller is going to be marketing the property. Yes, that's what that means. They're still going to be looking for a buyer. Yep, that's what that means. But it also means that you have permission to go look for a buyer as well, see? So it's a great, great thing. And it's not, have you noticed there's no earnest money here? There's not even a mention of it. Not even a word of earnest money. Because you're not tying the house up. You're not keeping that guy from being able to sell that property on his own. Okay, you're not creating a scenario where you end up backing out of the deal and the guy says, oh, well, you tied my house up for 30 or 40 days and then I just ended up eating the expenses and payments and you didn't close and blah, blah. Down on you and your name in this community, if it totally avoids all that, because he has the ability to continue marketing it and you now have the ability to market it alongside of him to your buyers list. And let me tell you, you're probably better at this than the seller is. The seller, yep, he wants to sell this house real bad and he's going to be marketing it, but he doesn't know how to do a Craigslist ad. He doesn't know how to do a Facebook ad. He doesn't know how to build a virtual flyer and send it to an email list that's already been built of cash ready buyers. Okay, he doesn't know how to do this. Your competition on this deal sucks. Okay, you should win. You have an ability to win here. You have a good shot to win with this kind of a deal. All right, let's continue on. The option E may cancel this agreement prior to this agreement being assigned to a third party. Prior to, in other words, if you find a buyer and you guys assign this deal over to them, then it's too late. He can't back out. Once you put your buyer in, they can't back out. If this agreement is canceled prior to you assigning it, the optionee may not engage, okay, in any transaction related to the above mentioned property with any party introduced to the property by the optionee. In other words, Mr. Seller, if you and I don't do a deal here, you can't go around my back and take the guy that you turned down when I was talking to you about him and then call him back next month and do the deal without me. Okay, that's not going to be possible. That's what that means. Okay, so it outlines that you both are able to market the property deal, but it also outlines some safeties and protections in it for both of you. Now, the next phrase, seller agrees to allow buyer to place signs in the yard and otherwise market the property through buyer's general marketing practices. Okay, that is very, very big. They're going to give you permission to do all this stuff. Can you imagine the ability to do this? Yeah. And they're giving you permission to put a sign in the yard even. All right. Then an important disclosure. You are not a realtor. You are not licensed. You're not a broker. You're not any of these things. And then very simply there at the bottom, you'll find the signatures. That is it. That's how simple a flex option agreement is. Now, you can see it's very, very different than the others.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets rich in this business alone. You've never done and you never will do a real estate transaction all by yourself. Think about it. So we all need help from time to time, and I look forward to being that help for you.
All right, so that's the flex option agreement. Just an introduction to it. Flex option agreement, a great option if you are dealing with a situation that you think may not be a deal, or it is a tough seller to work with. Let me share with you a story real quick about how I used a flex option agreement this week.
And now, story time.
So this week in my real estate wholesaling business, I had a phone call that came in from a gentleman that is out of the state, and he owns a property here in my marketplace in Kansas City, and he said, hey, listen, I bought this property, I'm out of state, I'm not going to be able to rehab it and fix it and do the things that I thought that I would at one time, and I just want to offload this property. Can you help me? Would you be willing to make an offer? And I said, well, you know, actually, what's the address? Let me take a look at it, let me check into it, and I'll get right back to you. And so he shared with me the property address. He told me a little bit about the property. It has some fire damage, so on and so forth. I took a look at the details of the property. I looked it up online. I got all the research done in it that I could do. And then basically I decided that it was not a deal that I thought was a deal for me or my buyers, and I was going to pass on it. But instead of passing on it, okay, I went back to the seller and I said, hey, Mr. Seller, this is not a deal for me personally or for my buyers, probably, but I don't know that for sure, do I? So what I would propose to you is this flex option agreement that would allow you to continue marketing your property and look for a buyer yourself, but it would allow me the ability to lock in a price with you and market it out to my list of buyers and partners and see if any of them would be interested in this property deal. And of course that would not hurt you or cost you anything. It would just possibly bring you in some offers, and if one's good and you want to take it and it's something we can do, then that's exactly what we want to do. And if again nothing comes in, then nothing comes in. If something comes in and it's not what you expected, then at least you know now what offers may be coming in on that and what that property may really be worth. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you, Mr. Seller? And you know what he said? He said, yeah, absolutely. I may really be interested in that flex option idea because that doesn't tie up my property, does it? I said, no, it doesn't tie up your property at all. You can market that property and find a buyer, and if you beat me to it, great, but it'll just it'll allow me to market it to my folks here on the side, right alongside of you. And so exactly what the guy was looking for, and he asked me to send it over to him. It's really that simple, folks. It takes a deal that you're not sure is a deal, and it turns it into maybe a possibility after all. So I want to encourage you if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and submit them into the chat right now, and let's get those questions answered. But I want to talk to you about your business. I want to talk to you about the 4 weeks to your first deal accountability teams that we have rocking and rolling. Oh my gosh, they're rocking and rolling. Man, we've got a good number of people in these accountability teams, and dude, they are kicking butt. I mean, they are really tearing it up. They're building some cash buyers lists, okay? I've got a guy that was on the show. If you haven't seen the show, go back and watch the show from this week. It's session number 2 of the virtual co-host sale. And then there is a session 1 from the week before. All right. Now, there's also the wholesaling lease options. And we've had a little pause on that because we're having some difficulties with one of our vendors updating their system for the text blasting, but you know what? It happens. That's why I don't want you to be a one-trick pony, man. Don't be a one-trick pony. Be a master or a practitioner of all these various wholesaling exit strategies. There's lots and lots of different exit strategies. There's pretty house wholesaling. There's this flex option we were just talking about. There's, ugly house wholesaling, virtual co-wholesaling, and joint venture wholesaling. There's all kinds of cool things that you can get involved in. Bank-owned wholesaling. We're going to do 4 weeks to your first deal accountability team on bank-owned wholesaling next month, and pretty house wholesaling. I mean, you can't even miss it. I mean, if you miss it, you're crazy. You're crazy. All right. So, guys, I've got to run. I've got a closing at 3 p.m. Thank you guys for your comments here and your love. I appreciate it. If you're watching this and you're not a member of the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, it's absolutely free. I need you to go there and just enjoy. That's what it is. And hook up with us from there on our Facebook group. It's free as well. You'll get lots of help and lots of mentoring, and training is available both places. And hit that like and subscribe button. Help us out. Share this with other people. Let's get the word out that there's some real help and real people from real wholesalers out there. I'm not fake. I'm not trying to show you something that ain't real. This is the real deal. This is real estate wholesaling. All right? Love you guys. Love you guys very much. And we'll talk to you soon. God bless.